kind of leads into this part still. So you want to be hardcore. So you want to be a rapper.
Yeah, I just kind of want to touch on something with Dana.
Yeah.
That even though, yeah, you're saying that he's harmless because in the way he's kind of gone over and whatever they're saying he's on, in a way you can kind of get that song because if I was directed for him, you say, you know what? There was a seed that was supposed to be planted for the little people to say, when you get older, you know,
yeah,
you will be stronger.
Yeah.
And so right now, it's like I'm maybe like a little seed,
yeah,
unconsciously being planted for them to kind of catch the vibe and realize. Because right now, like people my age and just a little bit younger than me, that you can't really work with those people right now. Everything they see out there, that's it. So most of the direction, if you're looking for betterment in a better future, is mostly surrounded around the youth.
Yeah.
So that part is not unconscious.
On a level, not much. I took out, they love the song. They sing it all the time, right?
And it's a deep demon song.
But see, to me, I look at the words, I look at everything that you put together, and I understand why it's being that song out of all the different songs that could be pushed is being pushed. You know what I mean? So when I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, well, there is. I'd rather it be a positive message than be some nonsense. So on that level, I kind of say, okay, yeah, I can show you what you're going through. I still haven't seen him release any kind of nonsense. And I've seen him when he was coming up to, you know, he was on some garbage, you know what I mean, like mental garbage or anything like that. However, I noticed that it's not going to really incite any change. It's like this Jesus thing. That's in my perspective and the way I look at it. See, we're gods and we're the demon. So if I'm going to keep looking to somebody else, I'm going to look outside of myself to give me something, then I'm never going to get what I need to get. And now I'm looking at Haiti and looking at how serious Haiti was. Haiti held out America for a very, very long time. They're a very serious country. Now they're completely wiped out. They got wiped out most likely by some weather control weapons, you know what I mean? Like some hard stuff, you know what I'm saying? So now, to just look at it like, oh, what was a big disaster just happened? It should be like, you know what? Take get heads from the people that were dealing with those things. And this is kind of the energy is not really going to incite that to really think. That's why it's being pushed. At the same time, I don't look at it and saying he's a negative guy. I just don't see any type of, I see it being a bait and switch type of a thing. They're going to catch you with them and say, yeah, follow, and all of a sudden you're going to do a booty shaking like you do.
It lacks that innovation.
Well, it's almost like on the Ice Tea, or they just take it.
Yeah,
the energy was meant, when he made that song, the words that he said, it was meant for one thing.
Yeah. And then they took all that energy,
just turning it around.
See, that song was since it wasn't meant for Haiti, if you didn't do that song to Haiti, I think that song is a bit better than it is. It's just because when I hear the song, when I get older, I think it's Haiti. They wouldn't get older. There's some ancient people, you can get older. How old am I? I'm like a billion years old. I'm old enough to get. Have you taken last for how many years? You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it. I'm like, I understand why they put that master. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the reason why I look at it as to why it's being pushed. Even with the Drake thing, it's not anything different than me. But it's being pushed because he's not going to do anything contrary to what the Bible says. He's not. You know what I mean? So.
And he's been rude. Like he's a hedge that they already like
he's the guy.
You know what I mean?
For you, when I first seen myself, you know, I seen the performance on beat, you know what, this guy's a flop. It's like every other Canadian guy. Then I heard he's down with Lil Wayne and everybody. And I said, okay, yeah. We all know Lil Wayne is an open homosexual. Like, we can't even say he's he's behind the closet. He's an open homosexual. That's true, right? So now Drake's one of the true. They already have the golden gods. Drake's he's gone through. The only way that Drake can stop is if we shun him. You know what I mean? If everybody shuns him, it's practically a done deal. It's practically a done deal. You know what I mean?
So just a little bit to go into, so you want to be hardcore. So being innovative, right? You have to think outside the box, right? And the gangster rapper thing isn't like a NWA thing or like a West Coast thing, right? Like there was, as far as hardcore hip hop, that And that is what birthed gangster rap. Or what they would call as gangster rap. But there was hip hop that was just like hard, like streets. And it wasn't really nothing talking about killing each other and all that stuff. It was just like reality. And one of the people who like kickstarted that was Cool G Rap. Right? So Cool Modi, who's like a more old school rapper than Cool G Rap, right? Said as the progenitor and prototype for Biggie, Jay-Z, Tretch, Nori, Fat Joe, Big Pun, and about 25 more hardcore MCs. Cool Modi also claims G-Rap is the most lyrical out of all the artists mentioned. MTV described Cool G-Rap as a hip-hop godfather, adding that he paved the way for a lot of MCs who would not have heard of otherwise. Rolling Stone says G-Rap excelled at the street narrative, a style that would come to define later Queens MCs like Nas, who was hugely influenced by Cool G-Rap on his early records and Mobb Deep. So at the top is Mobb Deep. You know, Mobb Deep was like taking that Cool G-Rap energy into what they made into hardcore hip-hop music from that perspective, right? Because, again, you're not going to have the guy on the microphone without the DJ next to him. But at this point, this is where the transition of the DJ being turned into the producer. And the producer being that person behind the scenes that just makes the music now. And then DJs had to revamp their position to now fit that producer role. Because the DJ role is what was, that was where the music influence as far as hip hop came from. Like it was the DJ. That was the only guy that dealt with the music. Right? The dancer dealt with the music, but he would have to live with the DJ to get the music. Right? And the graffiti artist would just have the music played while he did whatever he did. Right? And they'll have the boom box just right there. Right? But it was all about the DJ. Like we were talking about, you know, when, say like 90s, when college radio was big in Toronto, when you would like go set your tape to tape the station, because yo, that DJ was like, this was the day that they're gonna bring the new records. So you set your tape, right? And right after that, the other DJs show, and then we set the tape so we can get a show. And then you build your cassette, like repertoire song based on what you heard. You know what I mean?
We definitely paid for it in the line. So even the gangster rap thing that they were saying, right? How the energy got co-opted into gangster rap. Ice-T is the one they say that came with the gangster rap, right? Ice-T was not a gangster rap. He was never a gangster. That guy was a gangster. Now, he had a song that the media used, and it just threw a whole bunch of slogans and sound bites out there and people around. It's like the kind of experts. So now all of a sudden, gangster rap is something that actually a viable. They could, at the time when they were dropping that gangster rap stuff, I don't think it was even feasible for that type of lyrical content to even be pushed publicly on a wide scale. They weren't even ready for it. But because Ice-T did a rock song, and the rock song, we're dealing with some of that type of energy or whatever, he's saying, yeah, basically fuck the police. And the song was really bit stronger because it's called Killer. Now it's gangster rap. And they just went hard on it. You know, if you listen to all of the songs, all the big Ice-T fan, he was all about money. He was all about just getting with your money. Money to weapons my money. I'm pushing information, affordable language. And then all of a sudden it just became gangster rap. And now today, people are able to say, you're a gangster, or you're a thug, and look at me and try to claim that, when at those times, movies like Goodfellas, Scarface, Godfather, they're showing you who gangsters and thugs are. They're showing you, and they did not look like us. You know what I mean? So now, I hope they got turned around so that now when anybody looks at us, they can just say, yo, we're the gangsters, we're the thugs. You know what I'm saying? So now we're not credible anymore. And so now the hip hop now is not credible anymore because all we deal with is gangster and thug bullshit, apparently. You know what I mean? So just to add to that.
So again, now we're talking about vocalism and what are you coming with? Like, what are you coming with? If you're gonna put out an album and say, okay, I'm putting out an album, like how are you gonna grab those people who are true to this thing? Because right now we're talking about like coming to like 92, 93, where it's starting to do this nosedive into what we're seeing today, that they're saying, oh yeah, well this is hip hop and this is hip hop and all these things are to be considered hip hop, right? When Jim the Damager first came out with his album, with his record Come Clean, like this was the picture on the cover, right? The one on the left, right? So this brother like, and then these times, we're talking about times when it was like, it wasn't about like, you know, like the ending time of cameos and like, brothers started like having the waves and stuff like that, right? Like having their brush and like just brushing all the time. And like this is after like the cameo stage. This man's gonna come out with like some like hair like all over. You know what I mean? But he's wearing a jean jacket just like he used to wear.
But his style was fresh. He had the freshest dressing.
Like,
out of like to me, he was one of the freshest. Word and dressing.
Right? Like dressing.
But his hairstyle was completely different than what anybody else.
Anybody expected that. You know what I mean? You know? Even after like pierced ear and stuff like that. But there was something that was just different about this guy. It's innovative.
If you go and listen to this album now, but I have tracks with this guy on my MP3 player. If you listen to his tracks now, he's talking to the same man that Phil Valentine and Bobby Bennett. He's talking about his first album. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Montino, all of that. First album.
Man,
that's probably going all over our heads. But he was dropping it, you know what I'm saying? And we thought he was fresh. His album, Come Clean, I remember when I heard that first song, we went to a barbecue, a live barbecue thing. Yeah. And they played in the car on and they dropped it. And we were in the car, we're just, you know, mind going nuts. We're hearing the beat going nuts and hearing the guy rapping, like, that's a type of national barbecue. But like, I remember those times, you know what I'm saying? I remember those times, the feeling you got. I don't know if these days are feeling that feeling anymore. When they hear a new song, and they're like, okay, that new James coming up, and new time, new not. I anticipate these things. I'm not sure it's the same yet. They gotta know it's gonna be like, you know, some triple up drum sound, triple up hi-hats, or I just say, yeah, or some shit for a minute, some singing nonsense chorus. Simple lyrics, you know what I'm saying? It's really, really simple stuff, and they just kind of know it. You know? The kids can pick up on it really quick, but is that really good? You know?
Again, it comes back to that thing about innovative. Like, what are you doing that's different? So, in my opinion, like the first, like after the hip hop scene started taking the plunge and like you just didn't know what to put out so you can get airplay. Black Moon came with this song called Who Got the Props? And Who Got the Props was like the first hip-hop radio song. Like the beat and the lyrics and the video, but it wasn't commercial on the level of, okay, these guys are selling off in order to present this music, right? They're actually changing their angle of how they come at the industry with their music, right? And this was where it started getting into, okay, well, you could actually put out one song that's good, that's going to make people pick up your album. But they didn't have any other songs on their album that were put out.
Like that, no.
Like that, with video and all that stuff. Like all that stuff came after.
But you remember though, right? When they came out with How Many MCs?
How Many MCs, yeah.
We were not ready for that.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be more kind of like poppy-ish kind of stuff. When they dropped that song still the place. That song is some serious damage. That's why.
And again, we're saying to revisit